Wake up, wake up, wake up. I am your host, Chantel, better known as Miss Recycle, and you are officially on the Wake Up and Smell the Coffee show, y'all. Infiniti News, Infiniti TV. Let's go. Today, I am going to be doing a, I guess you would say like an overview of a movie called Obsession. Okay? Listen, this movie was crazy, okay? But it was on point. Now, I've spoken to you guys several times about witchcraft and how it is definitely real and how men use it, right? This movie right here, it basically shows you how men use witchcraft to get the woman that they want, okay? And it also shows you how witchcraft can cause a person to go crazy, right? Now, I'm pretty sure you guys remember me speaking to you about what happened to me, right? And how I started going crazy. Like, this movie really made me think about my life, okay? Prior to now, like before I broke this spell, I was going through the same things that Nikki was going through in this movie. I was crying all the time. I was depressed. And if you know me, please, y'all, please, any one of my day ones who's tuning into this, vouch for me, please. I was never a person to cry. Okay? I was never a person to like boo hoo hoo and woo woo woo. No. I was always a go-getter. I always, you know what I'm saying, was on top of my shit. But when I got in this relationship, I became very depressed, almost damn near suicidal, okay? It's a scene in the movie where she was talking about, oh, just kill me now. And she was like kind of bouncing back and forth into herself and back into the person who was under the spell, right? It made me think of me. I promise y'all, I used to always say, what do I have to do to get rid of you? Kill myself? Now, this is coming from a person who have always said, I'm going to live forever. I'm never going to die. And at this point in time, it's like I felt like dying, okay? I was crying all the time. I was depressed. And I just kept asking myself and asking him, like, what do I have to do to get rid of you? Kill myself? And it's crazy, when I saw this movie and I heard her saying that, and she was hurting herself, she was doing all type of stuff. Now, I don't want to be a spoiler, but I had to bring this, guys. I had to bring this to you guys. Like, it was just really like a eye-opener for me, because it kind of gave me like just like flashbacks, okay? It gave me flashbacks as to how I was acting. It just literally changed my whole persona. It changed my whole image. It changed my whole everything. Because when you are under a spell, right? A person is going against your will. They are forcing you to love them. And then when you do a love spell on someone who already loves you or who's already interested in you, it just backfires. It's the opposite, right? So Nikki liked him and she wanted him to approach her in a certain way, but he didn't. Instead, he did a one-wish willow, made a wish that she would love him more than anything or anyone in the world or something like that. And instantly, she just started freaking out, overly obsessed with him. Like, this was a very, very good movie, guys. And I really advise you guys to watch it. You know, it happens to men too, you know, and they just make it seem like it's just us women that's putting spells on these men, blood in their food and this, that, and the third. No, baby. It goes deeper than that, okay? Because the witch hunt was a cover up for the men that were doing or casting spells, okay? They blamed the women and had so many women slaughtered, but in actuality, it was the men who were the ones casting the spells, majority, okay? And they blamed the women to kind of like take the blame off of themselves. They had to shift the blame, right? A scapegoat. They needed a scapegoat. So what they did was what they did. They blamed the women and caused so many women to be murdered, okay? Burned at the stake and things like that because, listen, this is deep. Oh my God, it is so deep, y'all. I just could not believe it. I watched this movie and I was like, wow. I'm watching this movie like, wow, is that how I was acting? Like, I know I wasn't that crazy. You know, this lady was doing all type of stuff to herself. I mean, she was just like, she was tripping, okay? But like I said, I went through that phase where I was tripping too. Well, at least I thought I was. No, I was. I was tripping because I was crying, like I said. I mean, I never cried so much in my life. I promise y'all. Ask anybody who has ever known me, right? Ask my day ones. Please, my day ones. Please, my day ones, my grasshoppers. Please, please, if y'all see this video, I'm gonna need y'all to vouch for me, okay? Because my friends used to be like, I've never seen you cry before. I've never heard you cry before. Never heard me cry until I got with this person. And like I said, this person was using witchcraft on me, okay? He learned from his mother, right? And she, the mother, taught all of her children this manipulation magic. And this is what he was doing on me. And I felt it. Like in the movie, she felt it. She felt that something was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because it was going against her will. Now, mind you, I really loved this person. So he didn't have to use witchcraft on me. But he chose to because he wanted control. He wanted control over me. So it wasn't about me loving him or him loving me. He just wanted to control me. And he must have felt like if I loved him so much unconditionally, if he was able to put this magic spell on me, he would be able to get me to do anything that he wanted me to do, okay? And I can never forget the times when he used to be like, F you and your standards, okay? Because it was certain things that he was trying to get me to do that I wouldn't do. Like, it was like nah, I'm not doing that. I don't do that. Like, that's not me. That's not what I do, you know? So there was some points and times where I actually got a grip of myself. Like I said, my grandmother forced me to go to church as a child, okay? So, you know, I know she was praying over me. I know she's been praying for me, you know, and still to this day, those prayers, they like, it's in the cloud. You know what I'm saying? Like this Apple cloud thingy, like Google, like the internet, like the web. Her prayers are literally in the cloud. Now to this day, her prayers are still over me, protecting me, guiding me, okay? Because I used to burn my hair. Y'all, I used to burn my hair to the point where he used to get mad. He used to get mad at me, asking me, why the F is you burning your hair all the time? That shit stink and da-da-da-da-da. I used to be like, cuz my grandmother always told me to burn my hair to make sure the bird bitches don't get it and make a nest out of it, okay? Well, she actually said to make sure the birds don't get it, to make a nest out of it. But as I got older, I realized what she was saying. She was talking about the bird bitches. Okay, making sure that no one, not just these bitches, but shit, these men too. Now, she never really kind of broke it down to me as to men doing witchcraft or whatever, but, you know, she was born and raised in the church. So I'm pretty sure there was some things that she saw, right? That, like I said, my great-grandfather was the pastor of the church, and there was some things that he was doing that wasn't correct. He had actually, had a child by someone in the congregation out of adultery. He cheated on his wife with a woman in the congregation and had a child with her. So, you know, it's like, baby, I'm telling you, I got some stories to tell, okay? And the things that I have saw, the things that I've been through, but whatever happened, it's like certain things used to click in my head. Like, this ain't right. It just didn't feel right. It just wasn't right. And I used to always say, what do I have to do to get rid of you? Do I got to kill myself? Do I got to kill myself to get rid of you? I was just in such agony Okay, I was just so depressed. I wasn't myself and I felt it. For a person like me to even think about committing suicide or something like that, knowing how I feel about death, knowing that I tell myself every day that I'm going to live forever, that I'm never going to die, and then all of a sudden I just feel like dying. That wasn't natural to me. Like, right? Like my whole appearance changed, y'all. Like I was like a ugly duckling. I wasn't taking care of myself like I normally do. I wasn't grooming myself, nails, hair, none of that. You know, I was just looking horrible. I looked how I felt. I felt horrible. I was miserable. I was depressed. I was like, just really, I was out of it, guys. I was so out of it that I just did not know what to do with myself. Okay? And it started affecting my children. It started affecting just everything, my business. Connected. It started affecting everything and everyone around me. I distanced myself from my friends because I was just so embarrassed by my appearance. I was embarrassed about how I was living. Like I went from, I'm telling y'all, I was on my own since I was 15 years old. I had my own apartment. Since I was 15 years old, I got emancipated at 15. So I've always taken good care of myself. Good care of myself. Oh, Lord. And then when this came along, it was like, I just went from sugar to straight shit. Straight shit. And if he was smart, he wouldn't even have to do all of that. He didn't have to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? But from what I discovered, it's like he wanted to take over my life. He actually told my neighbor one time, I'll never forget, Yasmin, shout out to you, baby. Thank you so much for really helping me open up my eyes. He told my neighbor one day that I was too strong of a woman and he had to break me down. Okay? This lady waited for me to come outside. The day that he told her this, she literally sat on her porch all day and waited for me to come outside. And when I finally came outside, she said, I wanted to knock on your door and tell you what he said, but she said, I didn't even want to approach you like that. I just wanted to wait until you came. I wanted to wait until I saw you, basically. She said, and if I wouldn't have saw you today, I would have came. I would have been sitting out here all day tomorrow waiting for you to come out, right? So when I came out, you know, and I'm like, what? She said that to me, and I'm like, okay, well, what? What's wrong? What happened? She said, your man basically said to me as he was walking out the house that you were too strong of a woman and that he had to break you down. Okay? So this was his ultimate goal, to break me down, to steal my confidence, to lower my self-esteem, just to make me, you know, I guess like want a pet for him. Like just, you know, I don't know, y'all. It was just weird. And I'm like, what? She like, listen, I'm not lying to you, ma'am. She said, I would never, ever tell you anything like that. She said, normally, I really mind my business. But she said, once he said that out of his mouth, she said, I had to tell you. There was no way that I couldn't tell you what he said. Woman to woman, I had to let you know that you have someone in your household who is plotting against you, out to destroy you, okay? And it was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, when she said that to me, it kind of like, a bell went off, ding, in my head. I'm like, you know, he do be talking shit, stuff about certain stuff about me, you know what I'm saying, to my face. Like, oh, you think you all that, and you think you so smart, and you stuck in your ways, and you don't want to listen, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I brought him in on my stuff, in my stuff. Like, I did a video not too long ago, and I was telling you ladies that I know when you become successful and you're single, you sometimes want someone to share it with, right? So that's how it was with me. I was doing my thing, starting my business from home. I had a good job, and I was able to get all the stuff I needed from my business. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I also believe that, you know, those people sent him to me as well because he was tied into the conscious community and things like that. So I believe they sent him to me to silence me and destroy me, right? To take away everything that I had, and it's like he wanted to be the head honcho, right? But these are my ideas. This was my passion, is my passion. This is like who I am. You know what I'm saying? So like there's no way that you could have just stolen that from me, because what is for you, and no one can take it away. Whatever the Most High has planned for you. Thank God to my mother and father. Thank goodness. Greater is thee that is in me than thee that is in the world, baby, because I really locked in on myself, right? I had to really take a step back and look at my life. Like what happened was I was literally walking downtown one day, and you know how you got those windows that can show your whole reflection and whatever. So I'm walking downtown one day, and I walked past that window, baby. I looked at myself. See, when you see your own reflection, finally you see your own. I was looking at myself, but I wasn't really looking at myself. I wasn't paying myself no attention. I literally just let myself go. And when I saw myself, like my whole body in this window / mirror image of myself, I could not believe how I looked. I'm like, wow. If I showed y'all a picture as to how I looked before I got with him, okay? And a picture of how I looked when I got with him, like maybe like a year or so after I got with him, I just started, baby, I started going down, okay? And then I could show you a picture of how I looked after I left him. It was like three different people. Like I started to get the clump look, like the what do you call it, Professor Clump? Like remember when he was fat and then he got skinny, turned into Eddie Murphy, and he was handsome, baby. That's how I looked, y'all. And what made me also discover that he was doing stuff on me and his mother was teaching him was because I used to see little messages that she used to send him in his phone. She used to tell him to beat me. She used to tell him FUB, like tell her FUB, stop talking to me like that or whatever, because I started to get really like, I was so upset. We used to argue all the time, right? But it was because he was putting other people before our household. He was like, okay, for example, we had a lawnmower, right? Now, this is our house. Well, my house, our house, whatever. We're living together, whatever. But boom. We had a lawnmower, okay, that his brother gave us. A nice lawnmower, right? Now, he used to rent it out to people. And I used to always tell him, like, you're not supposed to rent out your tools or let your people borrow your tools or whatever, because by the time you get them back, it's not going to be the same way you gave it. People don't cherish your stuff like you do or like you should or whatever, right? So that was one thing. And then in the end, he ended up letting what was his name? He was like our handyman or whatever, but still, he let him borrow the lawnmower, and by the time when we got it back, it was broke. It was no good, okay? So I ended up going to buy an electrical one. But he used to also like go mow other people's lawns, like his mother, for example, would call him and ask him to come and mow her lawn, which I had no problem with that, but he didn't even want to mow our lawn. I used to argue. We used to have arguments because, like I said, I also stopped sleeping with him too. And I believe that was another reason why I was able to break that spell, because we were not connecting like he wanted to or whatever, because he was trying to degrade me in the bedroom or whatever, wanted me to do all this crazy stuff, and I'm not doing that. He used to ask me not to wash up before I went to bed or whatever. Like, I'm like, what? Hold on. And that puzzled me too, because this was a man who did 11 years in jail. So why would you want to have relations with me in these type of ways, right? It made me think like, okay, is this something that he learned in jail? Okay, he don't want me to wash up because he want that jail smell or something, you know what I'm saying? Because men in jail, they not really washing up like they should, and if they are, they don't really have like the hygiene. That deodorant ain't really you know what I'm saying, preventing them from getting musty and things like that or whatever, right? So I'm like, damn, what does he want me to have this like certain type of smell that he's used to, that he's been smelling for the past 11, 12 years? You know what I'm saying? He needed that familiar smell, okay? He needed that, right? And he was trying to kind of like forced me to do certain things that I did not want to do. Now, you will be thinking at the same time, I used to be thinking like, okay, if I don't wash up, maybe he wouldn't want to sleep with me, but no. That made him want to sleep with me even more, because like I said, he liked the smell. Like, he used to smell my feet. He used to smell like the seat when I get up from the couch. He'd smell my butt. He'd like just nasty stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just weird to me. Weird. He used to want to do that, anal stuff or whatever. And I'm like, that's like jail activity, lick the butt and things like that. I'm like, hold on, you was in jail for 12 years. Okay? And where did you learn all of this from? Okay? Because to my knowledge, you went to jail when you was like 14, 15 years old. So you didn't have that much experience out here in the streets with multiple women. Okay? So, and by the time I got with him, he was out for like 3-4 years maybe. So where did you learn all of this from? Where did you get this from? It had to have been from jail. So this is what I was thinking. Like, I was just kind of like bugging. I'm not into that. Like, I don't want nobody licking on my backside and then expect for me to kiss you. No, because parasites is in your feces. Okay? Parasites is in your butt. Bad enough, you want to do the down there and then come up and kiss you. I never liked that. I do not like that. I'm telling you right now, I don't like that. For somebody to go down on you and then immediately come up and want to kiss you, I don't like that. Didn't like it. And that's what turned me off. And that's what really made me kind of like fall back on the whole situation, because it was a turn off to me. Now, asking me not to wash up before I went to bed, I believe that was like he was helping, whatever it was that he liked. It was also about those deities that he was working with. They like certain smells, and I did a video about that too. But anywho, I want you guys to listen to this trailer, okay, from Obsession. And I need you guys to really, really pay attention. These are certain signs that you guys can kind of like peep. Okay, I want you to peep the signs of being under spells. When you're boo-hoo-hooing and crying all the time, like when you know that you were never like a sad person, always depressed and things like that, and then all of a sudden when you get with someone, you become very depressed and things like that. Like, the Most High God, your mother and father, they are not the authors of confusion. Okay? They are not the authors of confusion. And when I tell y'all I was confused, baby, I was confused. I just didn't understand. I used to cry like, oh my God, what is going on? How did this happen to me? What did I do? Like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? But it really wasn't anything that I did personally besides just choosing the wrong person. And that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get into that a little later. But yeah, they tricked me, because I met him holding a Black Power sign. Okay. Now, if you know anything about me, I'm heavy into, the movement, if you want to call it that. Okay. Awakening the people and bringing forth awareness and things like that. So, that's why you have to watch how you pray, because I used to always ask God to bring me a man who was like me, right? Who had my visions, who had my goals in mind and things like that. So when I met him, he had this certain type of image, you know what I'm saying? It made me think that he was the one, right? And he used to always say, yeah, I was born for you. I was born for you, right? And I used to be like, oh, I think you was born for me or whatever. But once I discovered what was really going on, I said, oh yeah, you was born for me. Born to destroy me. Okay? Because you have to remember, when you are born, there is a demon assigned to you. Let me say that again. When you are born, there is a demon assigned to you to destroy you. When you have a purpose and they know your purpose, these demons know, baby, let me tell you, they will send. The demon will send, okay, a minion to you to destroy you, to knock you out your square, to deter you from your purpose. And this is exactly what was happening to me, y'all. I went years without recycling. I went years without doing what I normally do. Like, it was to a point where he wouldn't even watch our son for me, so that I can go out and do my recycles. Now, I was running a business from home, recycling company. Baby, I had it going on. We, quote unquote, had it going on because I brought them in to my stuff, okay? Because I wanted a man to share it with. Lord, so I tell y'all, if you don't have no children, baby, first and foremost, your parents, things like that, your children. But if you don't have no children and you don't have any parents, grandparents that you can share it with your nieces and nephews, share it with your cousin. Listen, share it with the homeless people or something. I don't know, but let God bring your significant other to you. And God didn't bring him to me because at the end of the day, he really didn't find me. He did, but it was some plotting stuff. I kind of like found him. Okay, I took interest in him because of what he was doing. That Black Power sign that he made, baby, had it home there. He was walking with the car and like, it was just like, and I didn't care if he had money or not. And he didn't. He didn't have any money. He didn't have anything, but that did not matter to me because I saw the potential, quote unquote, okay? But it was all fake. It was all fake, guys. It was just a way to get closer to me, I believe. And, he was working for, or working with the conscious community, the guys that he used to hang with and things like that. They used to do, what was that at the Meriwether Library? Oh gosh, I forgot what it was called, but he was with Shango and them, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so it was just like really, really weird. But I thank the Most High. I thank the mother and father, the inside and out of me, okay? The God that's within me, because greater is thee that is in thee than thee that is in the world. And I am so grateful that I was able to tap into my inner God to see what was going on, to peep game, and to get myself out of it. Because, man, he was trying to take my children, calling CPS on me, his family started calling CPS on me first, and then there was like, the family used to tell me come at me with certain stuff, like, yeah, that's why you this and you that, and you know what I'm saying? So I used to be like, okay, what's going on? Then when we moved out of town, right? We moved out of town, and I'm going to tell y'all the same things that his family used to say to me, the females that I used to catch him with or whatever, they used to tell me the same thing. So then I started thinking like, okay. Now, they didn't get that from your family. Your family is not around, so they had to have gotten that from you. This is coming out of your mouth. This is you telling these women that. And one woman I spoke on the phone with, she literally, we had a very good conversation. It wasn't nasty or anything like that. She literally told me like, yeah, he talks about you all the time. You know what I'm saying? But he don't talk about you in a good way. You know what I'm saying? He talks about you in a bad way. And then she was like, she met him on, what was it? Not Twitch. She met him on one of these little sites where they be picking up girls and boys or whatever and sleeping with each other with or whatever, right? So she met him on some site, and then she was like, on this certain site, when you're in a person's, box or whatever, when you're talking to people or whatever, a light comes on. And she said she used to always see him in the transgenders box, like chat box or whatever, communicating with them. And I was like, oh wow, really? And this is a thought that I was having about him all the time. Like, beware the people who always talk about gay people and homophobic type shit or whatever, because 9 times out of 10, and then always doing these homo acts and stuff like that. So 9 times out of 10, that's just a cover up for them actually, going in that direction or whatever. But yeah, so that really opened up my eyes too, because for your parents and your friends, cousins, or whoever to not, mother, father, cousin, brother, sister, to not be around, right? And I'm hearing the same things from these strangers once we moved out of town that I used to hear from your peoples. It had to have been coming from you. It wasn't coming from them. So that also helped open up my eyes too. And then he brought a freaking what you call them, tadpole to my house, right? Now, if you ever see the movies when they're doing casting spells and witchcraft and stuff like that, a lot of times they use what? Tadpoles. He brought a tadpole to my house telling me it was a gift for my son. Okay? So it's crazy because I told him, I said, okay, if you want him to keep this tadpole, then you got to get everything that the tadpole needs. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think nothing of it at that point in time. Even though I knew in the back of my mind that he was doing some stuff, because I used to always find little stuff around the house. He stayed at that little oil store. What is it? The herbal store, or whatever you want to call it, where they be selling all that stuff at for you to cast spells on people. Yeah, he stayed at that store buying them oils and stuff. But I just never had like the solid proof until he brought this tadpole. Okay, once he brought that tadpole, and he's supposed to be a pet for my son, he didn't buy everything that my son needed for him to keep the tadpole, and then ended up letting the tadpole. He released it. He released the tadpole like 3 days after he brought it to my house, right? But he worked his way back in with the tadpole. Okay, this is how he worked his way back in. It was just crazy how it happened. And then yeah, after that, I really had to end it. I discovered what was going on. I prayed about it, and I said, you know what? I got to break this spell. I have to break it, because I found myself starting to do things that I would not normally do with him after he brought that tadpole to my house. And it was crazy. So I did what I had to do to get rid of them. And a lot of times, you have to do certain things to break these spells, okay? And it ain't about killing yourself. Like you would see in the movie, they told the man, like, the only way that you could break this spell is if he died. Okay? I didn't want to kill him, though. I didn't want to kill him because he is my seeds, whatever. But I had to do something to get rid of him and break the spell. So before it's all said and done, I want you guys to take a listen to this tutorial, to this trailer, and it's going to break it down to you guys.
Looking for Bluetooth signal.
Exactly
Connected.
What happened and how it went. Okay, so let me see if I can show it to you guys as well. Let me see. Okay. Yes. Pay attention.
Have you ever actually flirted with Nikki?
I'm gonna go get some shots.
I'll come with you if she means this much to you. And I know she does. Say, Nikki, I think we should grab a drink sometime.
Nikki, wait. I was gonna ask you,
What?
I lost my train of thought. Good night. What else?
Why?
One wish, Willow. You only get one wish. I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
I love you so much. A love only the branch of a willow tree could conjure.
It's weird how you two are dating all of a sudden. Like, super dating.
I think Nikki is going through something.
Like, what? Is she okay?
No.
Jeez, what kind of spells you put on her? calling to see if there's a way I can cancel her wish.
I'm sorry, we don't really do that.
So she's just stuck like this forever?
Well, yeah, I mean, as long as you live.
As long as I live?
Okay? Deep. I need you guys to go watch this movie, okay? Because it's definitely going to put you on point as to what occurs after a spell has been cast upon you, all right? You see how she was acting, all the crazy stuff that she was doing. Oh, it gets way deeper than that, baby. This was a really, really good movie, guys. And, you know, I just had to come to y'all today. After I saw this movie, like I said, it just triggered something in me. I'm like, you know what? I keep telling y'all that men do it too, and I believe that they do it more than women do, all right? And this right here, this movie right here, oh yeah. What is his name? Curry Barker? Okay? He proved it. He proved it. Now, it could be experience, something that he went through personally, something that he saw. I don't know. But he was right on point with this movie. He nailed it, okay? He nailed it. This is exactly what happens when you are put under a spell. Sometimes it's not as bad as this. Well, some people do commit suicide. Because like I said, I kept asking myself, what do I have to do to get rid of you? Kill myself? I didn't say kill him. What I got to do, kill you to get rid of you? No. I was talking about killing myself to get rid of him. And in the movie, you will see that she basically asked him to kill her. She was trying to kill herself, doing all type of crazy stuff to kill herself because she knew that this wasn't her, right? There was a scene where, I don't want to be a spoiler. I need y'all to go watch this movie, okay? I need y'all to go watch this movie, okay? And come in the comments after y'all watch the movie and let me know how y'all feel about it. You know, some of y'all might even be able to relate. Some of y'all might be like, wow, you know, this could be something that somebody's going through right now. This could be something that somebody went through. This could be something that you witnessed somebody go through. A lot of people committing suicide, y'all, and y'all want to know why? Yeah, probably because somebody cast a freaking spell on their ass and they didn't know, right? And they ended up killing themselves to get rid of the person. Think about it. Woo! Wake up, wake up, wake up. I am your host, Chantel, better known as Miss Recycle, and you are officially on the Wake Up and Smell the Coffee show, y'all. Infiniti News, Infiniti TV. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes, 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 baby. Oh, it's my job to bring you this information, okay? It's all about awareness, because guess what? We about to shut down this system. We about to shut this system down. One thing they should have did was left me the F alone, left me in my zone where I was minding my business. See, now I'm in their business. And guess what? I know they mad. Peace.